Hello, everybody. All right, so welcome back. All right, so, whoops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. So first off, before we get into this reading, let me mention that yesterday's winner, which was the Secret Language of Light Oracle deck, the winner of that is Angela Ford. So Angela, if you would reach out to me, let me know where in the world you would like me to mail your prize to. You'll find in the description box, you'll see my my email right there. And so just copy and paste that email and I will respond to you within 24 hours after I hear from you. Okay. If you didn't hear from me, please know I did not get a message from you. So you want to send it again. So just double check that it is the correct email. That's why I always suggest copy and pasting it, and then double check the whatever the address is that you're going to give me that you'd like me to mail it to. Okay. So now for today's giveaway, obviously we're shifting into Halloween mood. And no, I was not trying to be Medusa for for Halloween, but I kind of look like it tonight, don't I? Anyway, so we're gonna do Halloween theme all the way up until Halloween. So in honor of that, our prize giveaway today is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So if you would like to enter to win, just write Halloween in the comment section. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Those three things get you entered to win. And then don't forget to check back tomorrow to see if you indeed are the winner. I always tell you who the winner is right at the very beginning of the video, the bonus general message. Okay. So I always start these ones out with something that really happened with my dog. And it was so cute because he had his little favorite doggy friend came over for a play date. I guess it was yesterday. And he's very good at sharing, but he has this deer antler that he really likes to chew on. And his doggy friend also has a deer antler. And so while doggy friend was over visiting, that doggy got a hold of his deer antler. And Aries kind of looked at him like, oh, that one was mine. And I don't know if this was an intentional thought, but he went into the house and got one of his other toys and brought it over and dropped it in front of that dog. The dog drops the deer antler and starts snoofling around, and Aries snatches up his little antler and toddles off with it. So all I know is it looked very much like children who were like, uh-oh, that's my favorite toy. I don't want my friend to take my favorite toy. That's what it appeared to be. I doubt dogs think like that, but what do I know? I'm not a dog. So all I can say is if we're going to keep something silly in our minds to start this video out, to start the storyline out, maybe it is something like that, like distraction. We're going to stick with that distraction. Okay, so we just did a little shuffle, and it's interesting because I wanted to do some more like just interesting imagery and ability to make some new concepts pop out. So we have someone who is, well, we have two distinctly different storylines. One person is extremely content, right? She's this lovely ballerina. She sits over here, kind of what I guess near a kingfisher, and she just kind of seems like her whole life is in order, right? Beautiful koi pond. She sits here in full relaxation mode. But the card beside it says, someone else has felt very trapped, right? They felt like even the life that they're living is maybe a bit false. They would like to crash out of this glass ball, this snow globe that they've been living in like a carousel horse, and actually finally get to become a real horse with all of that ability to be like wild and free and honest and true. So here's the thing. Right now, I see this in two different ways. Either we have a storyline where one person is very content with the way a situation is, and their partner feels very opposite. Their partner feels like this ain't real life. Real life is something that's more exciting. It's something that is going on outside of this little bubble of serenity. And I want to actually go and explore. I want to actually, live in a more passionate way. I don't want everything to be soft music and calm this and calm that. I actually want fire and passion. I don't want a revolving life that's operated and kept in a snow globe where nothing ever changes. I want the spice of life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I want all of it. I'm not just looking for an even tempo kind of life. So that's one story. Or this is a completely opposite storyline where someone, whomever this is, our ballerina, whose life is really good right now, she may be what this individual would like to come after. So our carousel horse individual has been basically their life has been on a loop. They're having to pretend to be something that they're not, and all they want to do is bust free because they would like to make their way toward her world. Her world is actually serene, but with no, you notice she's not trapped in anything. She's actually out here completely free to dip her feet in the water, to pet the birds. She has nature around her. There's a sense of wild freedom here, which is what this stallion wants. They want to be wild and free. They don't want to be kept in this pretense of a life. So that's the two storylines I could see, and it could go either way. I'm more heavily leaned toward that second story that I mentioned, only because we don't see her in a snow globe. Maybe she is and we don't know it, but my impression is she's the one who is actually free, and this individual would like to break free in order to be more like her, perhaps. I guess unless it was one third storyline here where this is all about her. She's serene, she's calm, but there's some secret part of her that at some point is going to say, wait a minute, this is not enough for me. I want some more, wildness. So I could go a couple different ways. So let's see if we can start defining which storyline this is going to take us down. We have got a 9 of Cups. So we have real contentment, and we have a 2 of Wands in the reverse. So we are starting out with one person anyway is completely, I'm going to say, certain about what path they're on. This, I would look at this as a single, independent individual. This could be our ballerina. And she's like, wow, my life is actually really good. Like I'm having all these things that I asked for come true. Now, ballerina works really hard to be graceful, right? There's, but this is somebody who would say, yeah, I work really hard for what I get, but what I get is what I want. And I'm very content. I'm not in discord. I'm not having an identity crisis. I don't wonder about who I am. I feel very calm. I feel very grateful for what my life is. And I feel like on the whole, I am receiving exactly what I have asked the universe to bring to me. Now, she doesn't have a 10 of Cups, but she has a 9, and she feels really good about the path that she's on. I'm more inclined to say that that is our ballerina. So let's ask specifically about that, the snow globe. Okay, we have a 5 of Pentacles. So whomever this is feels like they have been trapped in a life that isn't even real, trapped, behaving in a way that isn't authentic. And unfortunately, they're missing out. All this time that they're in this seemingly, they make it look good to everybody on the outside, right? If we look at snow globes, actually, you know what? I just now noticed this. We have a little Pinocchio sitting here also. Somebody knows that this person is lying about being happy, or maybe their subconscious knows that they're telling a whopper in order to act like everything's fine when it's not fine at all. All this person daydreams about, all they want is to escape. They feel like they're missing out on something really important in life right now. Let's see if we can figure out what is it that they're feeling they're missing out on, right? Now we see, I don't know, whatever life this person is in. When we look at a snow globe, what we see is this, like everybody gets to stare at it, and you look in, you don't really do much with a snow globe, but you look at it and you go, oh, how pretty. I think somebody's life looks pretty to casual observers. I think that they make it look like, yeah, this is all good. Oh, yeah. And they have like, think of what a carousel horse does, right? It's on a track. It goes, up and down. It gives other people joy. People ride the carousel horse, but the carousel horse themselves doesn't do anything, right? They're just on that one track. And it's all pretty false, right? It's not a real horse. It doesn't get to ever experience anything. If that's how this person is feeling about their lives, no wonder they think they're missing out. They're missing out on everything. And I will say, especially with this 5 of Pentacles, we have this person even wearing a cloak. I feel like they are hiding their disappointment about what they're missing. So what is it that they feel like they're missing out on? We have a 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have a Hierophant in the reverse. This person is missing out on, this is interesting. They're missing out on being married to the person they want to be married to. I mean, it's strong message there. You notice we do have the Libra scales, not unusual to see on the 6 of Pentacles, but I am just going to point that out. So we have Taurus, and then technically we have Earth energy, but obviously I'm going to add in the Libra energy of the scales there. So our character, our carousel horse individual, they are feeling like the life that they've been living is making it so that they are missing out on, maybe they're even missing out on being able to work in the job that they've wanted to work in, because a Hierophant can talk about a career path, can also talk about a spiritual path. Whatever this is, they are not living a balanced life. They are sorely missing the opportunities, the reality that they wanted to explore, the life that they wanted to live for themselves. What would they have if they could have anything? What would that carousel horse have? What would that individual have? What would their dream life be? Well, we have a 10 of Cups. Boy, they're afraid to even wish for this, huh? Because 10 of Cups is in the reverse and Page of Pentacles is in the reverse. Man, they would like to actually have a complete opportunity to basically have a reset in their life. And I feel like they're afraid to even hope for that. I think this person would just rather, what does their dream life look like? These came out in the reverse, but if they had been in the upright, if they dared hope for this, they would say, I wish that I could go back in time and I could give an offer to something that was leading me to my 10 of Cups. I would put that investment. I feel like there was a moment in time where this person, if they had just laid their offer on the table, it would have led to this 10 of Cups. And it would have taken a minimal amount of effort for them to put in that offer so that they could have reached that 10 of Cups. Maybe this was the message they needed to send to somebody. Maybe this was the I love you that they didn't say to an individual. Maybe this is that moment where they realize that was a critical moment of my life where I needed to say the right thing, do the right thing. I needed to make even a small step forward, because this is little. This is just a page. But what would their ideal life be? It would be something, I feel like it was a moment in time that already passed them by. Tell me more about that page. Tell me about that page. What was that? Was that a word? Was that a sentence? Was that something that they wish that they had said? We have a Knight of Swords sideways, and we got the Page of Wands upright. Yeah. This person wished that they had said, I'm on my way. Both of these cards are cards of travel. This person wished that they had said, even if it was like, I can't leave today, but I'm coming in 2 weeks. Or this person, when they think about what their ideal life would be, it would be to go back in time. And in that one moment that they needed to say the right thing would have been, there's passion here. I'm pursuing it and I'm on my way. Or at least at one point in their life, they can think back and they can clearly say there was this moment where maybe at the moment they didn't know how important it was that they would have said yes and they would have veered off to the left. Maybe this person missed that turn off because they just kept going straight and they thought, oh, maybe another time I'll come back to that. But they didn't get to come back to it. They passed this opportunity by. That's what I would say, because they didn't say what they needed to someone. Who is this someone? This may not be about love. This could be about any opportunity. We have a 5 of Wands in the reverse, and we have a King of Cups in the reverse. I'm asking, who is this someone? It's someone that they would have, maybe it was a masculine, or maybe it was just someone that they needed to really love. They needed to step up and give their love offer to. It was someone that they needed to work things out with, most likely, and it would have required some kind of emotional communication. It would have required some form of, could be a water sign, doesn't have to be. I want to say, whoever this person was, it was an individual that wasn't blocking them, but they couldn't seem to find the right words. They didn't make the offer to this person, but this person doesn't seem to have been blocking them. This person wouldn't have fought a love offer. So I'm not sure why there was an issue there. Let me get one more on that King of Cups. We got the Judgment in the reverse. Yeah, this is all about a missed opportunity. This person could not find the right words. They didn't. This was already a difficult situation, but they could have resolved it. They could have saved it. They could have hung on to it, and they didn't. Okay, so that's what all of this is about for them right now. This, whoever our, I'm going to say the King of Cups person, um, is our carousel horse. The person who, instead of resolving something, they stayed silent. Now their life has become this. They live it in this snow globe, and they continuously want to break free. Now, this person might be about to break free, though, because especially with Pinocchio sitting here, I have to say, sometimes living a lie, it wears on a character. It gets to the point where it's like, what are they supposed to do? How much longer can they keep this up? You can't really probably keep up a lie for too terrible long, because something's going to give. Okay, tell me, let's go back to our ballerina. Our ballerina over here, we have a 7 of Pentacles in the upright. She seems to be really content over here. She seems to be, I would argue, alone, single, very content, and has big plans for her future. And they're coming true one at a time, at a time, at a time. She has long-term success. She has again, what she's asked for, she's getting. I don't know if, oh, we have justice in the reverse. In my storylines, and only, sorry, my hair is, anytime it's down, it starts itching my face. In my storylines, when I see justice go in the reverse, that's where I look at this like something that is wrong needed to be made right. So in her life, she has been basically setting the tone for things to, like, maybe she didn't get other things in life, but she has success. Maybe not everything has worked out, but the universe is granting her or gifting her other things that are really, I'll just say, really supportive. It's part of why her life is actually blossoming. It's, she did some kind of work. And I'm going to say that she did work in order to become calm and serene, because again, a ballerina doesn't get to be a ballerina unless they put in the effort, right? They got to practice all the time. They got to get strong. They got to get, flexible, balanced, all of these things. It takes a lot of effort. So for her to be who she is today, she put in effort. She may have also had a little help from the universe, since that justice card is kind of like cosmic balance. But she certainly she's in a good place. What is the interaction between these two, if any? I hesitate to use this deck. It's so tall, it's so long, but we're going to. We have the Empress. Okay, so the energy between these two, there is this, you notice it's actually a parent-child relationship. Empress, Libra, Taurus energy, and Empress is typically one of great benevolence, one of love, one of compassion, one of strength, one of mothering. And we have a 4 of Cups. No, I will say that it does kind of appear that perhaps these two characters were in very different phases of their life. One person was more of that, I'll say, more mature energy vibe, unless one of them had a child. And that could be one of them had a child that they needed to tend to. Could have been either or. It could have been that King of Cups. It could have been our ballerina. Perhaps that's it. But there is the acknowledgement of a missed opportunity. I'm more inclined to say there is the two of them were not equally balanced. I also think that the missed opportunity is felt possibly by both of them, because there was a potential for a really beautiful thing to happen here. But there could have also been a child involved that could have factored into decisions that people made. We've got a 6 of Coins in the reverse. So there's the lack of equal give and take. So all that potential was lost. There wasn't equal give and take here. Why does our King of Cups in the reverse view this as a missed opportunity? And then we'll ask it from the ballerina's viewpoint also. Wow, 10 of Wands, but then also this is like the maker of the deck. It's as if this person, the King of Cups in the reverse, In their mind, the reason this didn't work out is because they did a brave thing. They did the right thing. They had other stuff to attend to. They had burdens to tend to. They had other situations, and they chose to be a very solid, stoic, strong vibe. Okay. So in their mind, they're actually arguing that I did the right thing. Okay, how does the ballerina see this failure of this relationship, how this ended? Ooh, she sees it as I was betrayed. Okay, so very different perspectives, especially the fact that this character over here is saying, I took charge of things the way I needed to. I did what I had to because there were all these problems. These were the burdens that I had. I needed to tend to them, so I took charge and I did it. I bossed up and did it. And she says, you betrayed me. That's why it ended. That's why it was a missed opportunity, because I was betrayed. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's go down that road one more time and ask why she see it that way. Okay. That's going to be hard for me to know how those cards would have fallen because they both ended up on the floor. We have the moon. We have the 5 of coins in the reverse. She says that my perception of the betrayal is you hid a bunch of stuff, which was you knew all along you weren't actually giving to me. You knew all along I was going to be the one who got shafted. You knew all along, but you pretended like you weren't shafting me, but you were. That was all hidden, but there was never really an investment. So that's how she perceives all of this. Why do they think that they handled their business? Why do they think that they handled their business well? 9 of Swords. Because they said I had so much stress. What else could I have done other than deal with the stress? I had to take charge of, and maybe there was someone that was, you see this person sitting here weeping. Maybe it was like there was a difficult individual, someone who was having a meltdown, someone who they felt they had to be the rock for, someone who they even viewed as a burden that they had to deal with. But it was like, how would I possibly not have tended to this? Okay, the only thing is I'm really tired of stories like this. I have to be honest, because it's like I want to see more. I want to see a change in something, but I don't get to pick, do I? So let's just see where this goes. I feel like this is, what do they want? Why do we have the ballerina and this person even here? Because right now they're arguing that they did right. She's saying you betrayed me. So what is the takeaway from this? What is the takeaway from this? 3 of Wands. It's time to move forward is the big takeaway. It's time to move beyond this story. This situation has already happened in this storyline. This is how it shook out. This is how it went down. So it's time to move beyond it, right? Because we can't go back in time. We got a 2 of Cups. So we've got that storyline of twin flames. Any of you who watch these daily are probably laughing right now, because I have said no matter what deck I use lately, every single bonus message I get, we wind up with twin flames. And this is our 6th in a row, by the way. So it's time to move on, though, for these twin flames. Here's the thing. I was thinking it was time to move on and just, say, okay, this is how it shook out. We're both now on different trajectories. She's in a great space. They're over here wanting to break free. But like these two people, we have not seen them actually interacting. What we've seen is some beef between them, right? Because one person says, I did what I had to. The other one says, what you did is you betrayed me. And then I ask, okay, why are we seeing the story? And it says, because it's time to move into the future. But the thing is, moving into the future actually brings them together. But we have a 5 of Wands in the reverse. This is actually saying, because all this already happened, now that phase is done. That phase of it is over. We can move on now. We may be able to have these two move into union. I'm not sure how easy that is, given the circumstances being what they are, but she's really in a peaceful space. They seem to have handled business and are possibly breaking free at this point. let me ask, what intention right now does our King of Cups in the reverse have? What intention do they have? Magician in the reverse. What intention does she have right now? Magician in the reverse is not, they're not being honest. She has intention to just be super happy in her life. Okay, so wait a second. What part are they not being honest about? Because to me, the Magician in the reverse is the snake oil salesman. We've got a Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so they, right now, their intentions, this King of Cups in the reverse, the one who we have seen, they want to break free, right? They want to pull a Freddie Fender. They want to break free. Their intention right now is to be deceptive to a Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is already ticked off. That's not usually someone that you want to lie to, because she's gonna be unhappy. What? Tell me more about this. They're not going to tell the truth to a Queen of Swords. Knight of Wands, because they're going to go follow their heart and go run off and go, I'm assuming, over to our ballerina character. They are about to break free of a situation. Maybe it was the exact situation that held them captive at one point in time. This individual failed to have a reunion at a very important critical moment that they could have redeemed themselves in the past with the ballerina character a long time ago. Instead, they didn't. They allowed that moment in time to pass. They held back. They didn't say how they felt. I'm still not 100% sure why, other than we did see that they had some kind of huge burden. They might have said, there's no way I can possibly give to the ballerina, because look at this mess I have to deal with right now. And I'm sorry to refer to like a potential other individual as the mess, but I'm just saying it was a complication. I don't mean to dismiss whatever was going on with that set of circumstances they felt was the burden. But at this point, this individual has every intention of being, I'm going to say, untruthful. They're lying to a Queen of Swords because they're going to dip out. But the problem is they're dipping out for passion, for like they really want to go towards somebody for like passionate purposes. Six of Wands. They think that this is going to be something that they not only deserve to be able to have, that they can have this and it'll make them feel really good. With that Six of Wands, they are like, I get to do this and I don't need to tell anybody what I'm up to. I deserve this. I get to follow my passion. Why do they think that they can do this right now? Why do they think they can do this now? I'm assuming that the ballerina is their twin flame and that's who they want to go toward. Why do they think that they can do this? There's that King of Cups in the reverse again. Queen of Wands. So that's who our ballerina is. An Emperor in the upright and a Knight of Cups. This person, okay, so they're actually about to dip out. I wish I knew more about the situation that they are exiting. Did they finish whatever they needed to in that situation that was complicated? Did they finish that up? And who is that Queen of Swords in the reverse? Is that just like a disapproving person? I don't like the fact that they're lying to anybody. But they feel like they're entitled to not tell somebody something because they're entitled to leave. They're entitled to correct the circumstance. They are that King of Cups in the reverse, but they're going toward a Queen of Wands who is their ballerina, and they're coming in like an emperor to try to woo this individual. Now, it's passion that first, drives them. It's the desire to come toward this, this Queen of Wands is very sexy, is somebody that they desire heavily. But this person wants to, you notice that this emperor now takes off their mask. I feel like this is one of those stories that I'm not a fan of at all. But again, I don't get to pick the stories that I tell. Just know, oftentimes I do not agree with the stories that I tell. Okay. But I still have to do my best. This is What the cards would have me believe is that we have had someone who has the quality of an emperor all along. An emperor who is also the King of Cups in the reverse, the person that didn't express themselves, who is also that carousel horse person who wants to finally break free. This emperor all along has worn some kind of a mask and grit their teeth and tended to whatever complications life threw into their energy field. Now, did they create those complications, or as an emperor did they simply feel responsible for other individuals? An emperor tends to be very good at looking out for others. They tend to take responsibility really serious. If they felt like they had to tend to something, which is what we've seen here, they avoided giving their energy to their twin flame, who was their ballerina person. She feels betrayed by them, but they are coming in to now be the full-blown emperor to the ballerina, to date her, to woo her, to turn their back on their former situation. This is the person that they want. This is the person who they have always viewed as the one that they needed to express all this to. This person is coming in with sweet words. This person is coming in with you know, how sexy, how much I love you, how much I admire you. And the big reveal is, and I am ready to be your emperor, but I will date you as long as it takes until you will concede to be basically my empress. So this person is, I mean, like they're coming in for a big old do-over. 31 minutes. Oh my goodness. I do want to just ask, what was the context of all of this drama? I know the cards had already said like move on from this, but I still am curious, what was the big conflict that they got tangled up and they didn't do right by their ballerina person? We had a 7 of wands, we had a high priestess, and we had a tower. So major life upheaval. Something like the bottom dropped out of their world. It was something they didn't see coming. It was, I mean, major change. This could be like someone made some epic mistake and literally, well, lost my house, got no place to live. And it's like, oh my God, I got to go take care of my family. They don't have a place to live. It's whatever. My ex, who also is the parent of my child, something huge happened in their life. They don't have a place to live. I actually have to go and provide that because this is a relative of mine, any way you slice it. This is complication after complication, but this was something massive. This was something that, what would they have done if that hadn't happened? Because that was the single unifying thing, or I will say that the single destructive thing that prevented this individual from coming toward their person. What would they have done if that hadn't happened? They would have offered that love. They would have been investing in their ballerina person if that hadn't happened. Why did they handle it in a way that she felt betrayed? How did that happen, and why did they handle it that way? The emperor, they handled it in the way that we keep seeing, that they keep saying, I handled it in the way an emperor handles it, which is I make the decision that has to be made, not because it's the one I want to make, but because it's the right one. It's the one that I have to make. But what about for her? Because if she still feels like they betrayed her, what do they say about that? 8 of Cups. You would have walked away from me anyway. You should have walked away from me, because that's the only thing that was fair, is for you to walk away from me, because I had to make this decision because something, the bottom of everything dropped out of my world. I'm still struggling with that. King of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Ooh, this emperor actually thought you would walk away from me and you will end up with somebody else, and it will, it would have been over anyway with me, because I have to take care of these other obligations. And so it's better if you walk away and you get to be with somebody else. This emperor made some decisions thinking that that was their choice and they were doing the right thing, the big thing. What's the universe had to say about that? Because when a person makes a decision for somebody else about like, oh, I have to tend to this, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the responsible thing, and you should really, be able to be with somebody else, you should walk away from me. If they made that decision on her behalf, what's the universe got to say about that? Was that yeah, I thought so. The universe didn't like that one bit. So as much as this person keeps insisting that they're an emperor, the universe counters with, oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't. We got a King of Wands in the reverse, that egotistical, selfish, prideful. You didn't tell her the truth. Be honest. You didn't want to tell her the truth. Your ego wouldn't let you be honest. You did not use your heart here. Nine of Cups in the reverse. You actually wanted to make sure she wouldn't get over you. That's why you didn't give her closure. You didn't want to let her go. And you won't be honest about that. You intentionally, decided to push her away without explanation because you wanted her to not be happy. You weren't hoping she'd meet somebody else. Universe is calling their bluff. This person has always wanted to hold on to her, but they pushed her away and said, I did the right thing. No, you didn't. You still aren't being honest, according to what the universe says. Three of Sacred Circles. You wanted to make sure that somewhere in all of this big, huge frozen tundra, there would always be this warm, wonderful memory that you can climb into where she thinks of you and you think of her. And someday the two of you will pass by each other again when everything gets aligned, when all the stars are aligned. You wanted to make sure she never got over you. Did that earn them good or bad karma points? Because right now, I know I'm coming down pretty hard on this emperor. And yet they keep coming up as an emperor, right? I don't like this because I don't believe that that's a good way to describe an emperor. But you know what? An emperor is also human. The universe here, what is it? Because I'm asking, like, was how do we view that? Was that okay? Is that the way to behave? And it says, no, no, they didn't actually learn a lesson on this one, but it's because they couldn't bear to really let her go. They couldn't let this be over. They couldn't actually give her the closure because they couldn't bear to think that I'll never see you again. I'm not saying any of this is right, but I am saying if we're telling a story about fictional characters, which is what we're doing, we have to give each character the space to have their own weakness. An emperor is who's supposed to be like, we can't expect anyone to fulfill such a tall order where they never have any weakness at all. This emperor had a big weakness. They did not do right by her. No, they didn't. It's because they couldn't bear to let her go. So they wanted her to still be hungry for them. They didn't really want her to move on. They wanted to say that that's what they wanted, but they didn't give her closure on purpose. They didn't say goodbye on purpose. They just pushed her away. That's two different things. If you don't want somebody, you say in no uncertain terms, see ya, out of here, not interested, and you make it really plain. This person said, it should be over with me. She should walk away from me. She'll meet somebody else and it'll be over that way. But in no way, shape, or form could they bring themselves to actually end it with her. Not the way you would end it if you really meant it. This was their ego and their pride. They couldn't make themselves do it, and they still can't admit it. They didn't want her to be happy. That's not really nice, but can we understand how somebody who didn't actually ever want to let her go had that piece of selfishness in them that they intentionally wanted to say, but someday maybe I can have you again? I mean, it is what it is in this story, right? Right, wrong, mean-spirited, selfish, or tragic love story. We could look at it with all of those things. Maybe it's a dash of all of it. I'm not trying to explain anybody's behavior away. These are fictional characters, but I try really hard to dig until I see, like, okay, what's the motive? And this is a complicated, tragic love story. So let's go over. I feel like we need to do a part 2 on this because it's already 39 minutes long. I'm gonna do a part 2, and we're just gonna focus on her side of things, right? Because she's out here looking for joy, looking for happiness. She's out here completely, she has turned her life into something. She's in a great place, a great place. If, she doesn't pull any punches about it, though. If somebody asks her about that person, she goes, "Oh, they betrayed me. Oh, no, they didn't tell me the truth. They left me high and dry, and they knew that they were going to, but they didn't actually tell me. They didn't even tell me why they did it. But that's what they did. They left me high and dry. They betrayed me." And I feel like that's a fair point. But the thing is, she's not saying it with anger or malice. She's saying it like it is. And the very next card is the sun. She didn't let it crush her. She didn't lose herself in this. She actually is very serene, but a fact is still a fact. This is what happened. If you ask me who this person is, if you ask me what they did, sure, I'll tell you the truth. Oh yeah, they totally betrayed me. Yep. Nope. I don't know what happened with them. All I know is they didn't ever tell me the truth. So she is happy. She is content. Her life is calm. She has a lot to look forward to. Maybe we just wrap this one up here. I'm not going to do a part 2 after all. Let's just go ahead because I don't want to leave her hanging right now. What's the universe got to say about her at this moment? Especially at this moment, right? On the heels of seeing that sun card, I don't feel like it's false. We have a 6 of sacred circles and a 7 of staves, and they're both in the upright. This has pushed her through a journey of like massive strengthening, right? This is how we overcome obstacles, and it pushed her to like go deep into the temple of her heart and soul, and she found like that rainbow of light. She found a way to say, even in a frozen tundra, a lot of frozen tundra cards in this, right? Even in this frozen tundra, here she is finding some kind of balance in her life, but she found it all by herself. She created a life for herself where she kind of fell in love with the frozen tundra. It's not lonely, it's beautiful, it's clean, it's refreshing. She got into like her own headspace somehow, some way. Maybe it's because she was able to make peace with this. Does she still say, "Oh no, that person totally betrayed me"? Yes, but I'm happy despite that. I found something in myself, some deep inner strength that allowed me to shine brighter and say, some people do betray others. Some people have, things that they do wrong in life. I don't have to hate them for what they did wrong. That's their burden to bear, not mine. I just accept it. And hey, maybe I hope everybody gives me grace for my weaknesses and the wrongdoings that I do as well. I just feel like she kind of like made peace with something and found incredible balance. She might have gotten really into like nature stuff also. She might have found that the universe and life gives to her. Maybe this one person didn't, but she found a lot of value from all kinds of other avenues of life. So her balance is coming from her like unity with kind of the entire life and landscape of her world. 10 of staves, and she even let go of some kind of if she had like an abandonment wound, something from childhood, something to do with children, something to do with her own children or lack thereof, whatever it is, she might have also gotten to a point where she was able to really lay down. And I almost feel like she's saying, hey, you know what I realize is that a lot of patterns of behavior are set in childhood. A lot of things that I've made mistakes on and that other people make mistakes on is all because of, we didn't know any better. And maybe even though we're grown-ups, we're all still kids, in one way or another. I just feel like she's kind of found some really kind of inspiring like peace. I mean, she kind of is like coming across as like a yogi or somebody who's like really mindful. We got a Princess of Swords in the reverse and an Ace of Swords. You know what? The other thing, I think is probably the most poignant message out of all. At least the way the universe is describing her is to say she doesn't go looking in dark little corners to try to figure out clues. She doesn't go seeking information. She doesn't go looking at X's. She doesn't go trying to go down the rabbit hole to find answers on stuff. What is shown to her is what she assumes the truth is. If someone didn't tell her what was going on in their life, they intended to hide it. So she's not going to go looking for answers. If someone wouldn't tell her what they were up to, It's either they're an inherently sneaky person and she doesn't want anything to do with them, so she'll cut them loose, or those things I'm not supposed to know the answer to. Maybe they aren't any good for me. So again, I've got to deal with the information that's right there in front of me instead of live in this murky space of, sneaking, spying, overthinking, trying to figure everything out. And I think that this was the journey that she has gone on, like, because of what she went through with this person. Doesn't mean at one point she wasn't still trying to figure it out, eating her mind up, trying to figure it out. But I think that one of the big lessons she got out of this is like, you know what? If somebody can't be truthful, can't be upfront, they're probably not worth my energy trying to figure them out. Let a liar be a liar. Let it somebody who hides and plays hide and seek, let them just keep hiding. I ain't seeking. If somebody wants to keep secrets, you can have all the secrets you want. I'm not trying to figure them out. And it's not a fatigue. It's more like, look, if I operate with that intention, it means I never have to deal with liars. I never have to deal with sneaky people. I never have to put up with any of that because I assume you wanted secrets. Then that's something. I hope they keep you warm at night, And I just kind of think that that's the only way to see this. With these two cards together, she's not seeking information of things that someone is trying to conceal. And that is the secret to how she moved on. But remember, we saw the Two of Cups card, and we see difficulties and we see all of these problems in this, but life is complicated. So let's stick with this deck for just a moment longer and wrap this up. Can I please see why these two are still being seen as twin flames with that Two of Cups card? What does that mean? Because we said it's time to move forward, right? We have a Ten of Sacred Circles in the reverse. There is something here where, if I'm asking why are these two still seen as twin flames, and we saw, it looks like this person wants to come in and be an emperor to her. We don't know if she's going to accept that, but they're being seen as twin flames in the sense that, well, I would argue that maybe both of them have come from complicated backgrounds, even difficult family lives, where neither one ever really had a support system. Maybe they had to be the strong person within a family group. Maybe they match each other in that sense. Maybe she's had to sacrifice a lot for others. Maybe they have as well. Maybe neither one of them, because I'm asking about twin flame, like the mirrored energy between them. Why do we still call them twin flames? Well, because they might mirror each other in this. Like neither one has ever had like the opportunity where someone like committed and gave to them. They might have always been the one that was, having to lay out their 5 to everybody. Okay, this person needs my 5. This person needs my 5. This family member needs my 5. I got to keep putting my life on the back burner for my family, to the point where, because there is some real strong family vibe here where it's like, I kind of feel like they both have the same lesson to learn in this lifetime, which is, we can live our whole life and never live for ourselves if we're not careful. So from babyhood to old age, what we do in between is supposed to be like where we're learning and we're doing the things that we're also on this earth to explore, from our own mind, our own heart, our own creativity, our own sovereign sense of freedom. And that's a really important lesson for maybe both of them to realize. At some point, you have to do what's right for you and not just live for family, even though family is so important. Like, where do you find the balance, I guess, is what this is asking. And if they both have technically had the same lesson to learn, we didn't really see it on her side, but that seems to be the part where they mirror each other, that message. Okay, so do we see what's going to happen with these two? Because remember, we already saw it's time to move on from all those questions that I was asking previously in both of their sides. We got the Princess of Sacred Circles. So remember when we said, what would this person have done if whatever big, distressing blow up thing had not happened in their life? The thing that prevented we'll now call him the Emperor, right? He has 3 names now. He's been the King of Cups in the reverse. Now he's the Emperor, but he started out as the carousel horse. And I said, what would he have done if everything hadn't blown up in his face And he felt like, well, I have to step up to the plate and I have to go deal with all this family stuff. So I'm basically, it looks like he ghosted her. What would he have done if that hadn't have happened? And we said this person would have come in and they would have made an offer, right? If And there was also a message in here previously that said this person they knew that there was an opportunity where they could have had like a do-over with her. There was a moment in time where if they had just given that offer, that Page of Pentacles. Well, I'm asking now, what is potentially going to happen? This is the Page of Pentacles again. It's a princess of sacred circles in this deck, but that's the same card. It's a Page of Pentacles. So the thing that they didn't do a long time ago, I said it's like this person had always hoped that they could come back to that moment in time and do it differently. Strangely, it looks like that may be possible. Even the fact that we have a baby here, somebody might have gone off and had a child with somebody else. This could be like one of those really long, well, it is a long epic story, isn't it? But one of these really long, winding stories where these people eventually find each other again after maybe the ballerina did go off and have a romance with somebody else and had a child with somebody else, had a whole life with somebody else. But somehow, some way, this story is coming back to converge again. And that moment in time where an offer could be made, that opportunity is presenting itself again. Why is it presenting itself again at this point in time? Why is it presenting itself at this point in time? The Hanged One. Because this has always been in gestation mode. It's time to give birth to this. All these delays have not been without purpose or without meaning. And as much as this might be annoying to hear, it is possible, considering this card, it is possible that this is exactly, oh, somebody's going to hate me for this. It is possible that this was exactly the amount of time it would have taken for these two twin flames to actually end up at this moment in time. Maybe the reason they bypassed and couldn't have that moment where they gave to this connection all that time ago was because this is the right time. We don't want a baby to get birthed before their little lungs are formed and their little fingers and toes are there. We want ideally that 9 months to pass before the baby is born. It might have been too soon for these two to be able to come together until now. As frustrating as that may sound, because it seems like, well, why did it happen this way? Why did it happen this way? They both have learned a bunch, and really, if we boil it down, she learned a ton about, like, if somebody runs, I just let them go. If somebody lies, I let them lie to somebody else, not me. If somebody shows me what they're doing, I don't immediately try to make excuses or try to figure out, well, no, they probably didn't mean that. No, I assume that what somebody said is what they meant. What they did is what they meant. And I feel like that has served her really well. That lesson in, I accept exactly what people say. I don't have to overthink what they say or what they're, try to find another motive. What they show me is what I assume they meant to say and do. If I have a question about it, I'll ask them point blank. But I assume that when somebody shows me what they're up to, that's how they are. Which is ironic only because she's learned how to just watch what somebody does instead of whatever words they say. And I'm gonna make this point because all along I've been saying this emperor intentionally somehow avoided ever saying goodbye to her because they never wanted to say goodbye. They wanted to act like they were doing the right thing by setting her free, but secretly they didn't actually want her to move on and be happy with somebody else, but they couldn't be honest about that. But see, with her viewpoint, she would say, oh, this person betrayed me by not telling me truth. They ran away, but they wouldn't give me closure because they didn't actually want closure. They wanted to keep the door open. She knows that too. I feel like she's found this sense of wisdom to be able to simply, it's not that she can like mind read. It's just that she watches how people behave and she goes, well, this, when you won't close a door, it's because you don't actually want to close it. You're trying to leave an opening. Maybe this is even something that, dealing with this person and having enough time to think over this has brought her to that sense of awareness. And that could serve her well in a lot of areas in life, maybe. Like both, someone who's not being straightforward versus someone who is, she simply is now hardwired to say, well, what's this person doing? They're saying one thing, but what are they doing? I watch that. Okay, that person's hiding something. They're lying. I can tell they're not telling me the whole truth. They're dodging a question because they want to keep a secret. Okay, not a problem. They can keep their secret. I'm not interested. I'm not asking. And it's like, if they want me in their world, they'll understand that they have to tell me everything. She is able to let, I don't think she ever gets played by anybody. She didn't get played by them exactly either, but I think that's what it felt like. And she found a way to meditate on that and figure out, how do I handle this, a situation like this? And she really came to something that, answers that actually really like grounded her and made it make a lot more sense. So she gained some kind of like, I'll say superpower through all of this, when really it is simply, she learned how to find that peace, that calm, and that balance that no one can shake, because she's just like, I see the way somebody behaves and it's obvious. This person always tried to keep an open door with me. They did betray me. Absolutely they did. I'm not going to pretend that didn't happen. But whatever they were hiding, they either will one day show up and explain it all, and they'll fix it all, and then I can decide if I want this, or it's something that, it doesn't matter. They're not a part of my world unless they're an open, honest individual. So they don't have anything that I would want from them unless they can be totally honest and be 10,000% with me. I just think that there is some that allowed her to actually let this person go for that period of time. I don't know if these two are going to end up like together, but I think that there have been some very interesting points that came up in this storyline. Anyway, I'm going to leave this very lengthy video here now. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing if you are still with me. Yes, sometimes we get these epic ones, and I probably should have done this in 2 parts, but I didn't really want to leave her hanging. I felt like it was going to break the flow or something. And I'm glad I didn't, but thanks, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, I am a storyteller, not a psychic. I never am trying to tell anybody how their life is going to go. I don't give opinions about how it should be. I will talk about like the characters, but even then, I try to find the right questions to ask for my characters. But however the story flows is however it flows, right? So everybody take care, and I hope you have fun when you're here, as much fun as I have, because I'm always like, wow, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like, I had fun with this one. Actually, I felt like it brought up some great points, and like some points that required like other understanding and such, and I thought that was kind of fun. All right, thank you guys for liking this video, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Mwah, lots of love. Bye.